Could it be that the very fabric of your understanding, the bedrock upon which you have built your perception of reality, is a carefully constructed illusion? What if the echoes you've chased, the whispered truths you thought you heard, were merely refractions of a grander, more profound deception I tell you now, with the weight of ages and the clarity of a newly dawned sun? You have been lied to. There is something, a profound, transformative current of knowledge that you have never been taught, meticulously veiled from your sight. It is not an oversight, not a forgotten anecdote, but a deliberate obscuration, a strategic dimming of the very light that could illuminate your path. This is not a casual revelation, but an urgent spiritual awakening, a clarion call reverberating through the ethers, urging you to cast off the slumber that has bound your spirit. The time for passive acceptance is over. The dawn demands your attention, your unwavering focus. As we begin to unravel the tapestry of falsehoods that has enshrouded the true essence of Hermeticism, and indeed, the very nature of your being. For too long, you have been fed a diluted narrative, a convenient, easily digestible version of reality that serves to maintain a comfortable stasis, a predictable rhythm of existence. You have been told that Hermeticism is a dusty tome of ancient spells, a collection of alchemical formulas, a pursuit of immortality through esoteric rituals. You have envisioned robed figures in candlelit chambers, murmuring incantations, seeking power over the elements, or perhaps even conjuring spirits from the nether realms. You have accepted these surface-level interpretations, these popular beliefs, as the definitive truth, never questioning the deeper currents that flow beneath. But what if what you believe is wrong? What if the entire edifice of your understanding, concerning not just Hermeticism, but the very nature of spiritual pursuit, is built upon a foundation of sand, crumbling under the weight of its own misinterpretations? Consider for a moment the pervasive notion of quick fixes, of instant enlightenment, of spiritual commodities neatly packaged for your consumption. You see it everywhere, a market flooded with shortcuts to wisdom, a plethora of gurus promising immediate transformation, a spiritual fast food culture that leaves you perpetually hungry, perpetually unfulfilled. This widespread misconception, this shallow understanding, is precisely what has kept you from the profound depths of true knowledge. It is a smokescreen, an elaborate diversion designed to keep you chasing after shadows while the substance of truth remains elusive. The essence of this ancient wisdom, the true heart of what we speak of, has been distorted, diluted, and commercialized, twisted into something almost unrecognizable from its original potent form. You have been led astray, not by malicious intent in every instance, but by the persistent hum of collective misunderstanding, by the echo chamber of popularized half-truths. The time has come to dismantle these flimsy constructs, to peer beyond the veil of common belief, and to seek the pure, untainted wellspring from which all genuine knowledge flows. Indeed, the true essence of this profound wisdom, the foundational current upon which the very cosmos whispers its secrets, flows from a source far older, far more pristine than the distorted narratives you have been fed. We speak not of fleeting trends or recent discoveries, but of a knowledge deeply embedded in the very fabric of ancient traditions, woven into the tapestries of cultures long since faded from public memory, yet whose silent echoes still resonate for those with ears to hear. Imagine, if you will, the quiet reverence of the Egyptian temples, not merely as stone structures, but as living conduits of energy, as resonant chambers designed to attune the human spirit to the cosmic symphony. Think of the hidden academies, the silent sanctuaries where initiates were not merely taught, but initiated into the very mysteries of existence. This knowledge has existed for an eternity, whispered from master to disciple, preserved in the very fibers of sacred geometry and astronomical alignments, etched into the collective unconscious of humanity. It is a timeless wisdom, a perennial philosophy that transcends the ephemeral boundaries of creed and dogma. But it has been hidden, not in the sense of being deliberately locked away in some inaccessible vault, though indeed much has been lost to the sands of time and the fires of ignorance. Rather, it has been hidden in plain sight, obscured by the very mundane nature of human perception, by the constant clamour of the external world, by the relentless pursuit of superficiality. It has been forgotten, not just by individual minds, but by the collective consciousness, replaced by a convenient amnesia that serves the purposes of those who benefit from your continued unawareness. The true Hermetic tradition, the lineage of Petosiris, and those who truly understood the High Priesthood of Thoth, was not about acquiring trinkets of power or performing theatrical rituals for public display. It was about an inner alchemy, a profound transformation of the self, a journey into the deepest recesses of one's own being, to discover the divine spark that resides within. This knowledge, this profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, of the subtle energies that govern the universe, was once a sacred trust, a responsibility held by those who understood its immense power and its potential for both creation and destruction. You see, the ancients understood something that has been tragically lost in our modern haste, the sacredness of preparation, the profound significance of intention, the absolute necessity of inner purity before daring to commune with the universal forces. They understood that knowledge without wisdom is merely information, and wisdom without reverence is but a fleeting shadow. They practiced a way of life that was intrinsically linked to the rhythms of the cosmos, to the ebb and flow of planetary energies, to the profound symbolism of the natural world. Their rituals were not empty gestures, but potent acts of alignment designed to harmonize the individual microcosm with the universal macrocosm. And what has become of this profound understanding in our modern context, this age of frantic acceleration and relentless consumption? What was once a sacred ritual, a carefully orchestrated ceremony designed to elevate consciousness and connect the individual to the divine, has devolved into mere convenience, a commodified spectacle, a shallow approximation of its former grandeur. Look around you. Where once there was the solemnity of preparation, the quiet contemplation before an act of spiritual significance, now there is the instant gratification of a click, the fleeting satisfaction of a superficial purchase. The marketplace of spirituality is overflowing with glittering baubles, with quick fix solutions, with promises of enlightenment delivered to your doorstep. What was once a journey, a disciplined path of arduous self-discovery, has been reduced to a transaction, a subscription, a fleeting trend. We have forgotten the profound resonance of the drumbeat that once guided communal ceremonies, the quiet reverence of the smoke rising from an altar, the disciplined breathwork that prepared the mind for deeper states of awareness. Instead, we are inundated with the noise of the digital age, the constant clamour of information, the insatiable hunger for immediate gratification. The sacred has been desacralized, stripped of its mystery, its power, its transformative potential, and offered up as another item on the vast menu of modern consumerism. Consider the ancient rites of initiation, where a seeker would undergo rigorous trials, periods of solitude, and profound introspection before being deemed worthy of receiving deeper knowledge. Now, one can simply purchase a course, download an app, or attend a weekend workshop, believing that instant access equates to true understanding. The distinction between genuine experience and manufactured illusion has blurred. leaving a generation adrift in a sea of superficiality, chasing after fleeting sensations instead of anchoring themselves in profound truths. What was once ritual has now become mere consumption, a hollow echo of its former self. We have replaced the deep, resonant hum of authentic spiritual practice with the relentless chatter of the unconscious mind, amplified by the cacophony of a world obsessed with external validation. The profound wisdom of the ancients, the very essence of Hermeticism, was never about accumulating external possessions or performing showy displays. It was about an inner transformation, a purification of the self, a meticulous cultivation of consciousness. But in our headlong rush towards convenience, we have discarded the very elements that made these practices potent: the intentionality, the reverence, the dedicated preparation, the understanding that true power lies not in acquisition, but in alignment. The modern world, in its frantic pace and its relentless pursuit of external comfort, has forgotten the quiet art of listening, the profound wisdom of stillness, the transformative power of genuine presence. We are constantly looking outward for solutions, for validation, for meaning, when the true gateway, the real mirror, resides within. And here, then, we arrive at the heart of the matter, the core truth that has been obscured by layers of misunderstanding and forgotten wisdom. We speak of a tool, a gateway, a mirror, but these are not mere objects of the material realm, nor are they abstract concepts divorced from your direct experience. This tool, this gateway, this mirror, is not just material, it is an energy portal, a profound reflective surface that exists within the very fabric of your being. It is the crucible of your consciousness, the nexus where the seen and unseen converge. You have sought it outside yourself, in temples and texts, in gurus and guides, but it has always been present, waiting for your recognition, for your conscious engagement. This tool, this mirror, does not decide. It does not judge. It does not impose its will upon you. Instead, it only reflects. It amplifies. It magnifies. It is an impartial resonator, echoing back the frequencies you emanate, the intentions you hold, the beliefs you harbor, whether consciously or unconsciously. You are the one who leads. You are the conductor of this orchestra, the sculptor of this reality, the weaver of this energetic tapestry. The tool simply responds, with perfect precision and unwavering fidelity, to the vibrational signature you broadcast. Imagine it as a pristine pool of water, perfectly still, reflecting the heavens above and the earth below with absolute clarity. If you disturb the water, if you cast stones into it, if you muddy its depths with unconscious turmoil, then the reflection will be distorted, fragmented, unclear. But the water itself remains pure, awaiting your conscious effort to bring it back to stillness, to allow it to reflect the truth without distortion. This is the essence of what has been lost in the modern understanding of spiritual practice. The focus has shifted from the inner work, the meticulous cultivation of one's own energetic field, to the external acquisition of practices or objects, mistakenly believing that the power resides outside themselves. But the power resides within, always. The Hermetic teachings, truly understood, were never about gaining external power, but about mastering the inner landscape, about becoming a conscious co-creator with the universe by understanding and aligning with the reflective nature of reality. The tool, the gateway, the mirror is your own consciousness, your own mind, your own spirit. It is the projector that casts your inner world onto the screen of external experience. What you hold within, what you believe, what you fear, what you desire, what you resist, all of it is reflected back to you with unwavering accuracy. It is a profound, even terrifying responsibility, for it means that you are ceaselessly creating your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. The world around you is not merely happening to you, it is responding to you, mirroring the very vibrations you send out. This is the true nature of the Hermetic principle of as above, so below, as within, so without. The outer world is merely a reflection of your inner state, a magnified echo of the frequencies you continually generate. The tool, the gateway, the mirror is always activated, always reflecting, always amplifying. The question is not whether it is working, but what you are actively projecting onto its surface. Are you projecting clarity or confusion, love or fear, abundance or lack? The choice, the responsibility, the lead is always and eternally yours. Therefore, a profound warning must be issued, a stark delineation of the inherent dangers that arise from the misuse of this powerful tool, this ever-present mirror, especially when wielded in unconsciousness, devoid of the sacred container of ritual. To engage with this force without awareness, without a purified intention, without the meticulous cultivation of your inner landscape, is to invite chaos, to magnify illusion, and to accelerate spiritual decay. This tool does not distinguish between good and bad, light and shadow, creation and destruction. It is utterly impartial. It only echoes back the frequency you send out, amplifying it exponentially. Imagine speaking into a vast, resonant canyon. If you whisper a loving intention, the canyon amplifies that love, sending it back to you with greater force. But if you scream a curse, the canyon will magnify that venom, returning it to you with devastating power. The tool, your consciousness, functions in precisely the same way. If you approach it with fear, with insecurity, with a fragmented sense of self, it will reflect those very qualities, manifesting them in your external reality with relentless precision. You might inadvertently draw experiences that confirm your deepest anxieties, attract relationships that mirror your unresolved wounds, or create circumstances that reinforce your limiting beliefs. This is not punishment, but a direct consequence of the universal law of resonance. The universe is not judging you, it is merely responding to your vibration. The absence of conscious ritual, of deliberate intention, of a cultivated inner space, transforms this potent creative force into a chaotic, untamed river, carrying you adrift on currents of unexamined impulses and unconscious desires. Without the guiding banks of awareness, without the discipline of self-mastery, your projections become distorted, your manifestations become fragmented, and your very spiritual essence risks erosion. You are not merely a passive observer in this grand cosmic play, you are an active participant, an energetic broadcaster. And without the understanding of your own transmitting power, without the deliberate focus of your intent, you are liable to transmit frequencies that create discord and suffering, not just for yourself, but for those around you. The world, in its current state, often suffers from this collective unconscious misuse. A cacophony of fear, greed, and separation amplified through this universal mirror, manifesting as the discord and fragmentation we witness daily. This is why the ancient traditions emphasized purity of heart, clarity of mind, and the rigorous cultivation of inner discipline. They understood that to wield such a potent tool, one must first become a vessel worthy of its power, lest one be consumed by the very forces they seek to engage. The dangers are not external. They arise from within, from the unexamined shadows, the unacknowledged fears, and the unconscious programs that silently dictate so much of human experience. This, then, brings us to the profound and often overlooked role of ritual, of community, and of meticulous preparation. These are not archaic relics of a bygone era, nor are they mere superstitions to be dismissed by modern sensibilities. They are, in fact, the essential containers, the sacred vessels that ensure the experience is not only safe, but profoundly transformative. Without the intentional framework of ritual, what remains is merely display, only noise. Think of a powerful current of electricity, untamed, without the proper insulation and circuits. It can be destructive, but contained within a carefully designed system, it can illuminate cities, power industries, and bring forth innovation. Ritual serves as that precise containment system for the energetic forces within you and around you. It creates a sacred space, a deliberate separation from the mundane, allowing for a focused intention to be amplified and directed. The rhythmic chanting, the precise gestures, the symbolic objects, the specific times and places, these are not arbitrary acts. Each element in a true ritual is a potent conductor, a carefully chosen key designed to unlock specific energetic pathways, to align the individual consciousness with universal archetypes, and to create a resonant field conducive to profound change. Furthermore, the role of community, when truly understood, transcends mere social gathering. In ancient traditions, spiritual journeys were often undertaken within a cohesive community, a collective field of consciousness that provided support, shared intention, and amplified the individual's spiritual efforts. The shared focus, the communal breath, the collective vibration created a synergistic effect, strengthening the energetic container and making profound shifts more accessible. It was a crucible of transformation, where individuals were held and supported by the collective intention, allowing for deeper healing and integration and preparation. The diligent, often arduous internal and external cleansing was paramount. This was not a superficial act, but a profound commitment to purify the vessel, the body, mind, and spirit before attempting to commune with higher forces. Fasting, meditation, periods of silence, purification baths, ethical conduct. These were all integral parts of the preparatory phase, designed to clear the channels, to quiet the ego, and to open oneself to genuine insight. Without this meticulous preparation, without the communal support, and without the intentional scaffolding of ritual, any attempt to engage with the tool, the gateway, the mirror, risks becoming a chaotic explosion of undirected energy, leading to confusion, disillusionment, and spiritual disarray. What once was a sacred process of inner alchemy becomes a mere performance, a superficial spectacle designed for external validation rather than internal transformation. The true power lies in the intentionality, in the reverence, and in the understanding that every action, every thought, every word, when imbued with sacred consciousness, becomes an act of ritual, a deliberate creation of your reality. The profound realization that changes begin within each person, not in grand pronouncements or external revolutions, is the quiet, undeniable truth that the universe endlessly reflects. This tool, this ever-present mirror of consciousness, is indeed a catalyst, but it is you, the individual, who initiates the alchemy. One person becomes clear, genuinely attuned to their inner truth, their intentions aligned with the flow of universal harmony, and from that single, clarified beacon, a subtle shift reverberates. Then, imperceptibly, 10 more individuals begin to resonate with that clarity, their own internal mirrors reflecting and amplifying the new frequency. And from those 10, the ripple expands, touching the entire community, then the wider collective. The revolution we speak of is not about shouting in the streets or overthrowing visible structures. It is about resonance. It is a silent, internal revolution, a recalibration of the collective vibration, one conscious being at a time. It is the profound understanding that when you change your frequency, when you clear your internal mirror, the world around you must respond in kind. The external world is merely the magnified echo of your internal state. You cannot force the world to change from the outside. You can only change yourself. And in doing so, the world you experience transforms. This is the essence of true empowerment, the liberation from the illusion of external control. It is the realization that the power to create, to heal, to transform lies not in acquiring more knowledge or more possessions, but in the meticulous cultivation of your own vibrational field. The quiet revolution begins in the depths of your own being, in the stillness of your heart, in the clarity of your mind. It is a commitment to self-honesty, to diligent practice, to the unwavering pursuit of authenticity. This transformation is not always dramatic or outwardly visible, but its impact is profound and far-reaching, like the slow, steady growth of a mighty oak. Therefore, the call to practice, the invitation to individual action, is not a suggestion, but an imperative for those who seek to truly awaken. You do not need a guru, for the greatest teacher resides within you, accessible through the very tool we have spoken of. You do not need expensive tools or elaborate paraphernalia, for the most potent instruments are already yours: your breath, your awareness, your intention. Begin with the simplest of rituals, the small-sized deliberate acts that cultivate presence. Acknowledge the sacredness of your breath, inhaling deeply, consciously drawing in the vital energy that sustains all life, and exhaling fully, releasing all that no longer serves your highest good. Feel the profound connection between your inner state and the rhythm of your breath. Engage in conscious movement, allowing your body to be a vessel for uninhibited expression, moving not for show, but for the sheer joy of embodying energy. Embrace moments of profound stillness, whether in meditation or simply by sitting in nature, allowing the incessant chatter of the mind to subside, opening yourself to the subtler currents of awareness that are always present. These are not mere exercises. They are acts of sacred engagement, micro-rituals that re-establish your connection to the divine within. Cultivate awareness in every moment, in the food you consume, in the words you speak, in the thoughts you entertain. Understand that every choice you make, however small, is a deliberate act of creation, a signal sent out into the universe, to be reflected back to you. The key to unlocking the true power of this Hermetic wisdom is not in intellectual accumulation, but in embodied experience, in the consistent, dedicated practice of presence and intentionality. You have always held the key, inscribed not in ancient texts, but within the very essence of your being. It is the key of awareness, the key of intention, the key of resonance. Begin with yourself, with the conscious cultivation of your inner world. And from there, with undeniable certainty, the world around you will change.